Hey guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today we'll be talking about week 2 of NFL Next Picks of the Week. I did not do that well on my last predictions of last weekend, but I'm 10-6 right now going into week 2. So let's see what I did. If you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Let's get into this video, baby. All right. So here's my video from last week. Not great. It's not going to be great. I'm not going to lie to you. I have multiple microphones going. Sorry about that. Here's my last week's picks. Let me actually go later into the video.
Buccaneers.
Oh my god. Let me actually go later into the video so I can get all the picks. So yeah, here's my predictions. Here's how it went. Yeah. It's not the worst, but it's okay. So first off, I had Thursday Night Football. I did have the Chiefs beating the Chargers, so that's a dub right there. I was actually really surprised that the Chargers should have won this game. The entire time it felt like the Chargers were going to win this game. But then it ended up being, you know what? The Chiefs, they really did in the fourth quarter come back and, absolutely earn that win. But the entire game, I thought the Chargers were going to win that game. It should have been a blowout, but it wasn't. It felt like it was going to be a blowout the entire game. But, honestly, it didn't end up happening like that. The Chiefs did end up with the W. Next game was the Steelers versus Patriots. I put a lot of faith in the Mitchell Trubisky. I shouldn't have put my faith in Mitchell Trubisky. Mitch just did not look the greatest. Now, is it Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator? Is it the offensive line? Is it the weapons that are being utilized? We don't know. I would rather blame Matt Canada than Mitchell Trubisky. But the Patriots, they won a gritty game. The Steelers definitely should have won this game, in my opinion. But, the Patriots did walk away. This is a game that I felt could go either way, but I felt confident that the Steelers would still win it. A 1-1, it takes some when you win. You win some when you lose some. Next up, I had the Jaguars beating the Colts, and the Jaguars did beat the Colts. Not in great fashion, though. They absolutely shut them out. They shut them out. By the way, Matt Ryan is my quarterback in my fantasy team, and he got shut out completely. So I'm not too excited that Matt Ryan got shut out week 2 of the NFL season. They already lost week 1 and he didn't perform that well. Now he gets shut out week 2. Matt Ryan, you gotta start kicking it up, man. I need you on my fantasy squad. But I did pick the Jaguars to win. I do think this defense is underrated. I think Trevor Lawrence is better than his numbers are assuming. But this team, the Jaguars, they might be able to win the AFC South. If they keep playing how they're playing now and they progress and get even better, they might win the AFC South. But I still have the Colts win that division barely. But yeah, it happens. Next up, I don't want to talk about it. The Browns lost. We shouldn't have won. Fire Joe Woods. We know, the message. Next up is the Ravens versus the Dolphins. By the way, we're 2-2 so far. Ravens versus the Dolphins. I think the Ravens, they crumbled on defense. Their offense continued to be good, but they crumbled on defense. The fact that Lamar Jackson had the game he had and he still lost just shows how important Lamar Jackson is. Because that's a game they could have got blown out 42-10. If it was any other quarterback. But I think Lamar Jackson was the reason they were even in that game. He had a stellar MVP game. He's building an MVP roster right now, MVP campaign right now. But Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, man, that was a good squad. The Dolphins are one of the most complete offenses in the league because they can have. There was a video I saw on TikTok. They had a 5-wide lineup. It was 21 personnel. That's 2 running backs, a tight ends, and 2 wide receivers, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So you had to force the defense to have 5 linebackers in the game. Then, you have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill who can outrun any linebacker. So, Mike McDaniel is scheming this team very well. Tua's throwing the ball well. This team is going to win a lot more games than I thought they would win. They might be competition in the AFC East to maybe make the playoffs. Before, I had them 10-7, 9-8. They're a team mid-season, I might be going up in wins. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Next up is the Broncos versus the Texans. The Broncos did win. I did predict them to win, but I don't like the fashion that they won. I thought the Broncos would win by 3 scores, but the Texans, they almost won, man. That was a 1-possession game. If they make one game-winning drive, one drive to end the game, they could have won that. And it's insane to think that, but I do think the Broncos, they got to learn how to play as a team. They got to get better at playing the clock as well. They're a terrible game managing team right now. So hopefully they get better as the season progresses. But I do have the Broncos winning that. They did win. Hopefully we continue to see the development from the offense. Next up is the Bills Titans. I knew the Bills were going to win. I think they'd win in this fashion. Actually, let me go to the Titans Bills prediction. Don't mind the terrible audio quality.
But
Hold up. Where is my prediction for the Titans Bills?
passes. Their defense in the first half was very bad, but it was I think Broncos can pretty easily. I have the Bills winning this game. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills blow out the Titans.
What did I say? I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills blow out the Titans.
Because this Bills team is the best team in the NFL. Right now, they're the best.
What did I say? I told you guys the Bills would blow out the Titans, and they blew them out 41-7. Their players didn't even play in the fourth quarter. They were out by the second. There was 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and they pulled Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and their defensive starters, and then the Titans pulled their starters. 2 minutes left in the third quarter, they did that. So the Titans, they gave up in the third quarter. The Bills absolutely blew them out. Good on the Bills. I knew it was gonna happen. Next up, let me go back to the very end of this video. I actually had the Raiders beating the Cardinals. I thought the Raiders would be able to pull it off. Cardinals in OT get a fumble recovery touchdown. Good job on Isaiah Simmons hitting that ball out. That was a really good play by their defense. Again, this is a game I think could go either way. I thought the Raiders would be able to pull it out, though, because Devontae Adams and Derek Carr and, their team. But sadly, they did lose. They're now 0-2 in the division. The Cardinals, they're 1-1, but not a convincing 1-1 in my opinion. They could have been 0-2 as well. But I think the Cardinals, good job getting the win, securing that win, making sure you don't start 0-2, because that's pretty embarrassing to be 0-2 or 0-3 when you're just a playoff team. Next up, the Cowboys-Bengals, man. I thought the Bengals were going to win this game. I want to go with what did I say about the Cowboys game? I have a feeling that I said this could go either way.
With Cooper Rush at quarterback, the Cowboys are about to lose a whole lot more games than we're going to expect.
Okay, so I said the Cowboys are going to lose a whole bunch more games than we expect. So, yeah, they won this game. Good on them. Their defense did not play well. Their offense did not play well. The Bengals, I don't know what is going on with the Bengals, man. Whether it's Zach Taylor, this offensive line, the coordinator, whatever's happening, you got to make some changes. And I understand that it's 2 weeks into where you already made changes. You signed a bunch of people. You traded for a bunch of people. I understand. You drafted a bunch of guys. But this team is not good right now. They need to do something, whether it's a different person needs to play, a different play caller, a different guy managing the defense and offensive training. Whatever it is, you got to change something because this team is not good right now. They're 0-2, and they are at the bottom of their division in the AFC North, which is shocking. Next up is the Buccaneers Saints. Let me go to the very end of the video. I did have the Buccaneers beating the Saints. The Bucs, I thought they'd be a more convincing win. But I also said the Saints could win this, but it's all on the back of Jameis Winston. And obviously, Jameis Winston's back has bone spurs right now. So his back is not too reliable. But that was a terrible joke. But Tom Brady did win against the Saints. Finally beat that demon off his back. Since he came to Tampa Bay, he's lost to the Saints every time he's played them. Finally gets that demon out of his closet. Good job, Tom Brady. Next up, bad Mike Evans, though. Next up, the Giants beat the Panthers. I knew the Giants would beat the Panthers. The Giants right now are red hot. The problem is they're red hot in the beginning of the season. I would rather be red hot towards the end of the season, me personally, because just like the Panthers last year, the Panthers and the Broncos started out 3-0, and I believe they started out 4-0. But I know they started out 3-0, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, these two teams are gonna be surprise playoff locks," and they both got ice cold in the middle of the season. Dropped out of the playoffs, had bad seasons. So I'm worried that the Giants can do the exact same thing. Everyone's hyping them up, saying, whoa, the Giants might make some noise this year, win 8, 9, 10 games out of nowhere because that division is so bad. But then, they're really hot in the beginning of the season. Daniel Jones has a bad game. It starts with bad momentum. They might fumble by the end of the year. I do think that the Giants right now, though, are a lot of fun to watch. Saquon didn't have a great game, but he had a good enough game to help them win. And Graham Gano kicking that game winner, 58 yards, 59 yards. Good on him, man. Baker Mayfield still is 0-2, and he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL statistically. He has a 20 QBR, a QBR of 20. So Baker's not having a good time in Carolina right now. Maybe he'll come back around. Who knows? We'll see. The Lions, baby. I am pounding the table for the Lions. The Lions, man, I'm happy that they're winning right now. I hope the Lions continue to win. If the Lions can beat, who do they face next? I want to see who do the Lions face next. Lions roster. Nope, record. Nope. Lions NFL. What's their next game? The Vikings. Oh, that's okay. So the Lions versus the Vikings are up next. That's gonna be a fun game to predict. But the Lions right now, they're 1-0. They're 1-1. Should be 2-0. But they're 1-1 right now. They're going up against the Vikings next week. We'll see what I think But the Lions did a really good job against the Commanders in the first half. They were blowing them out in the first half, and obviously in the second half, both teams made adjustments. Commanders came back. I believe they scored 27 unanswered or something like that. Didn't win the game, though. But the Lions did just enough to win that game. My fantasy team does love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown, bro. But yeah, the Lions hold on to the victory. They're 1-1. They're a team that's going to be making the playoffs this year. I still have them as a 7th seed. Nothing's going to change that, in my opinion. Next up is the Rams versus the Falcons. The Falcons almost made a comeback, dude. Without Cordell Patterson and without Kyle Pitts doing anything that entire game, the Falcons almost came back. So the fact that the Rams, they're starting off the season really shaky. They're 1-1, but they should be 0-2. Like, realistically, they should be 0-2. The Rams, that Super Bowl hangover is very tough right now. The Falcons were a team that you should have easily blown out, but you didn't. So you made it a game to where it ended on a game-ending interception by Jalen Ramsey. The fact that you needed a game-ending interception to end the game and not lose against the Falcons, I don't know, man. That's a little sketchy to me. Hopefully they can, gel back together and become the team they were last year. Next up is the 49ers. I did have the 49ers being the Seahawks. Sadly, the 49ers lost Trey Lance for the season. They're back to Jimmy Garoppolo for the season. So this is going to change my predictions for each game. I think the 49ers will be a more concrete team for the rest of the season. So, like with Trey Lance, I said, well, if Trey Lance can, show that he can win games, I'll have them win a lot more games sooner. But now that Jimmy G back at the helm, I know what the 49ers are with Jimmy G. They'll be winning a lot more games quicker than towards the end of the season like I thought with Trey Lance. So the 49ers, they win this game. I think they'll be winning a lot more way sooner than I was expecting. So good for them. Next up, I had the Packers beating the Bears. I thought this could be a game, though. I thought the Bears could make this a game and give them a shot to win. There was a couple points in the game where I was like, oh, the Bears might, win this game. They might win this drive. They might score right here. They might get an interception. None of that happens. The Packers do hold on to win. Aaron Rodgers is finally trusting his team. Now, yes, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are really the main reason they won that game. But I think Aaron Rodgers is getting more comfortable with those receivers a little bit more. Allen Lazard had a couple good catches. I'm excited to see what the Packers can be halfway through the season when those young receivers are, 6 games into their career. It's where they've had these nervous jitters out of their system because they've already proven like, oh, hey, I've already had a 100-yard game. I can have another one, and I'm not gonna be shaking like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. I can't believe I did it. You know what I mean? I think it'd be completely different. Next up is the Eagles versus the Vikings. I did have the Vikings. I thought they were gonna win this game. I had the Eagles as my surprise pick for the NFL to come out of the NFC. I thought it could be the Eagles versus the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game. I scared myself off of that opinion. I do still have the Eagles going to divisional. I think they can go even further, man. They are the most complete roster in the NFL. I am going to stick with my opinion from now on that the Eagles are going to win the NFC East. I truly do believe that the Eagles are going to be a powerful team this year and for years to come. If they can stick with Jalen Hurts, or because they have multiple first-round picks next year, if they trade up for like a C.J. Stroud, a Bryce Young, and they still have, they can trade Jalen Hurts and 2 first-round picks for a top pick and grab one of these young quarterbacks. This is a Super Bowl team, guys. If they have a top 10 quarterback, it's a Super Bowl team. And that's what I'm scared of, is if Jalen Hurts doesn't prove that he's not a top 10 quarterback, this team is going to underwhelm this year. But for me, I still have them going as in the divisional round. But for other people, they're in the Super Bowl. So for me, I'm gonna temper my expectations for this team because of Jalen Hurts. But if Jalen Hurts plays like he did last night, holy crap, he's gonna be amazing. But I still believe in Jalen Hurts. I don't know if I believe him enough to win a Super Bowl this year. But that was my reaction to the NFL weekends. I am now what? I had all the home teams win, right? So I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am 20-12 in my NFL Knicks picks of the week. 20-12 is not bad through week 2. One of my friends who has a pick league as well, he is 7-9 through week 1. So the fact that I'm 20-12, he has almost as many losses as I do already. And I know he lost a lot of games this weekend. So Josh, I feel sorry for you, my man. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Come back this week for Knicks picks of the week, week 3. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of good matchups. There's the Browns versus Steelers on Thursday Night Football. There's the Lions versus the Vikings. There's going to be a lot of good matchups. They're going to be really hard to pick.